welcome to the light side
of the paranormal.
Jenna is driving right now. We're on the road to a haunted location, just a few hours away, and we just felt like we should tell you guys a few scary stories while we're driving. So, are we gonna tell them about where we're headed?
No, I'm gonna save it until we get there.
Okay.
But we are actually, this will be actually our first investigation at a site that is known to be haunted, right? Like not something that we feel is haunted or something that we feel has spirits. Like this is an actual legit haunted location.
You guys know how we do it. We kind of like to make it sort of like a podcast, lots of discussion, so here we are.
Yeah. So we are not going to disclose yet in this video where we are going, but Alice was saying it is we'll say it is a cemetery, but she was beginning to tell me her story of this cemetery, and so we thought we'd whip out the camera and videotape it. So videotape it, record it, show my age. Okay, so yeah, continue what you were saying.
Okay, so the cemetery that we're going to be investigating is like located on a main road that has like a lot of traffic, and there's a couple of intersections, or like at least stop lights,
like red lights,
traffic lights, located along that strip. And the cemetery itself is quite large. So when we were kids, like, I don't know if this is still a thing, but it used to be a thing where you had to hold your breath every time you were passing by a graveyard, and then you could not breathe again until you reached
I have a good story about that. I have a good story about that, but keep going.
Like, in a side note, why do you think that is? Because there was also one that you had to like raise your feet up off the ground when you went over railway tracks. Was that a thing? Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kids stuff. My daughter comes up with random stuff that's like in now, and I'm like, why? And then I was like, it's like the stuff we used to do. It's stupid.
I remember, like, when I was younger, kids used to say that it was disrespectful to breathe around the dead because because like they can't breathe, so you had to like hold your breath because like to be more respectful.
Like that.
But we were so young. Like, how dark is that?
We just did it because I
just wanted to do it.
Just that was just what you did.
Oh, yeah. There were just a few times where like I'd be like coming up to the graveyard and I'd be like looking at it, like getting all like psyched up for it, and then finally I like take a big deep breath in,
and your mom would stop at a red light,
and I'd hold my breath, and then we'd pull up to a red light, and I'd be like, like just trying so hard, but then I also like didn't really want my mom to know that I was holding my breath because I didn't want her to think I was weird. So I would be like turning black and blue in the back seat, like, come on, we gotta go. So it's not really like a paranormal story, but it's just like a graveyard story that's funny.
That you remember from that graveyard?
Totally. And then like the older I got, like I feel like I held my breath in front of graveyards until I was like 18 or something like that. Like it happened for a really long time.
It's almost like, for me, it was almost like just like challenging yourself to like see if you can do it. And I was like, can I do it? Like,
I was more like, I didn't know if something bad would happen.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But like the older I got, the more subtle I'd be about it, because I really didn't want people to know. So I'd be like, instead of being like,
yeah, you would just like do it.
I would just be like,
yeah. That's funny.
You know what I mean? Like just very real chill about it. So yeah, so that was one little fun graveyard story for you.
So in the town that I grew up, we only have, I think there's only one cemetery, and it's huge and it's beautiful, but there's only one. And so, and it was on our ride home, no stoplights, so thank God. So we'd hold our breath. So then a friend of mine who lived across the street, I remember her mom being like, that's so ridiculous. I mean, she came over one day, like her mom and my mom were friends. And so her mom was over one day when she was, I don't know where she was, but her mom was over having coffee with my mom. And I overheard her say that, so we used to hold our breath going past this graveyard, and she was such like a no bullshit kind of woman. And she was like, I was so tired of so-and-so, like her daughter. I'm so tired tired of her holding her breath every time we pass that graveyard. And I'm listening, and she's like, so I turned in and we drove around in that graveyard until she had to take a breath.
Oh my God.
And she's like, and then we drove for a while and she had to breathe the whole time we were in there. And then she's like, and then we left. It's like, and now every time she holds her breath, I'm turning in.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
That's funny.
Wow, that's hilarious.
It's like, I'm tired of this bullshit. She was trying to tell her, like, she's like, you don't need to do that. I'm like, oh yeah. I can tell this one. I think I told you this one before. So when I was maybe like 23, that was like I didn't have like college party years. Like my early 20s were like my party years. So I had friends that had they rented like a main floor apartment of a house, and we hung out there. Like that was like, we used to call it base because it was like our base camp. And so when they moved in, there was like this room that was locked, that the landlord was like, just don't go in there, it's locked, that you don't need to go in there and stuff. We were like, okay. Or well, they lived there. They were like, okay.
Yeah.
But we were so intrigued. We were like, what is in there? Like, we wanted to know. I don't know if somebody had said that they thought they heard something come from in there, or they heard a sound or something. So eventually we showed up one night and they were like crowbarring it to get into this room.
Oh my God.
I mean, after a few, after a few drinks and a few joints and stuff, then we go in there and they're like, this door's coming down, we're figuring what's in here. Oh my God, the worst tenants ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got in, and it was such a strange room. I don't know if it was like the equivalent of maybe like a crawl space, but because of where it was located, it wasn't like a crawl space that went down under the house. It was like a crawl space that kind of like went around the house a little bit on the outer edge. But what I think it was that this house was built around like a big rock, and instead of making the house look like a weird shape, they made the house like a square, and then just turned the area of the home that had this big chunk of rock into like just its own room of nothing. But they had built like almost like it looked like a deck over top of the rock. So I guess you would put storage. You could put like stuff to store up there, I guess. But because they're renting, like they just locked it up, I guess. This is all just speculation, but that's what the room was. You opened it, and there was a huge rock. The room was just a rock, and this deck, like with a few stairs going up above this rock, like a loft kind of. And so we were like, this is so weird. And I did not participate, but I think they might have done like a Ouija board in there.
Oh yeah.
Because they had one, which someone brought it one day, and I'm sure they brought it just to scare the shit out of me, because they were like, we're doing this tonight, and I was like, bye. They never did it when I was around, but it was always like kicking around. This Ouija board was like on the coffee table, or like and I think they might have done it one day. They did some crazy shit. Anyway, so one night it was dark out and we were kind of like partying and stuff, and all the lights were off because we replaced all the light bulbs with black lights.
Okay.
We bought black light bulbs, so all the lights, all like the actual lighting was off, and I think there was like maybe one lamp on that had a black light, so I mean like that doesn't illuminate too much. And everybody else except for my husband and I were outside on the back deck, and it was starting to kind of like thunder out and stuff. And for some reason I get like this sometimes, where I have anxiety like when I feel a spirit is around or something is up. And I was like on edge, and I was trying to like mix my drink and get my ass out of there. Yeah. I was trying to like mix my drink and get my ass out up on the deck with everybody else, because I didn't want to be in the apartment anymore. it didn't matter that my husband was there. And I was like, I told him, I'm like, I feel like something is around. And for like the first and only time ever, he was like, me too.
What?
And it was very dark in there. And so we were just so on edge for like the 10 minutes of making our drinks. And then I kind of looked over toward the staircase, because there was a staircase with a door. So you had to open the door and go up the stairs, up through like the laundry room that was at the top of the stairs, out onto the back deck. But the door was closed. So that's how you would go up to the deck. So I kind of glanced over there because I was just about to go up there to go outside. And I saw kind of like just beyond that door, it was very dark. There was a hallway back there. I saw something move. Like a being or a person or something dark, shadowy move back there. But I knew everyone was outside. And I kind of like caught my breath, and as I did that, my husband grabbed me, and he saw the exact same thing I did at the same time I saw it, and I was like, holy fuck, did you see that? And he was like, something's in here. And the both of us took off out the front door instead of passing whatever that was to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
We took off out the front door and ran around the house to get to everybody else on the back deck. And we're freaked out. As we come around the side of the house, everyone on the deck starts screaming. And then we start screaming because we're already scared, and they're screaming. We're all screaming. And we were like, holy shit. And we told them our story, and they were freaked out because they were sitting there, and one of the guys said right before we rounded the corner, he saw a hand come around and grab the side of the house, like around the corner, and grab the side of the house, like something was about to pull itself around the corner of the house. And then we came flying around, and it was gone. And that was super freaky. Also, shortly before we did all of this with the extra room and stuff, the back deck faced another house that had, it was like a duplex, I think, so same kind of idea. It was a smaller house with like somebody who lived upstairs and then someone who lived downstairs. We were actually in the town that we're going to now, driving home late one night, me and all my friends, and we got a phone call from somebody saying, I think your house is on fire. This is like the base camp house.
Oh.
And we were like, holy shit. So we called a few people, and it turned out that the duplex behind this apartment was what was on fire.
Oh, okay.
We got home, and we all ran up on the back deck, and we're literally watching this house burn down. And we were like, holy shit. Like, it was so close. Like, the houses were very close. Like, we're lucky that this house didn't go up too. And we're watching the firemen try and put it out and stuff. And then it occurred to us that the guy that lived there, he was like an old, I don't know how old he was, but he had trouble with mobility. So he was like slow moving and stuff. And then we had thought, oh my gosh, what if he didn't make it out? And it turned out he died in the fire.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. And then all this weird stuff started happening after. So whether that was related, yeah. And it was actually really sad. Yeah, this was like a week or two before all this stuff started happening. And then, yeah, that's what happened. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Yes, that's what happened. So that happened, and then a few nights later they said that they had heard like noises coming from that room. So that's why they opened that room. Also really sad, he had a cat that we used to pet. He'd come over and stuff. So while this is happening, while the fire is happening, I'm like scrambling around asking all the neighbors that are standing outside watching, did you see the cat? Did the cat make it out? And because I was going to grab the cat. And someone said that they saw one of the windows explode from the heat, like it exploded out, and the cat went out with it and took off down the street.
Oh, good, okay.
So then like the next few weeks was like me, this cat, being so scared and going home and sitting on the burnt porch waiting for his owner to open the door, and his house was burnt down. It was so sad, and he was so scared. He was so scared, and I'm trying to like lure him in. I bought cat food, and I bought treats, and I'm trying to get him to trust us, but he was totally messed up, like from that fire and that explosion. He would come and cry at my friend's window, and he let him in a couple of times, or he'd open the door to see if he'd come in, and he would just kind of sit there and tried for so long to get this cat.
I hope someone just picked him up one day and was like, Kate, you're coming with me, and just took him far away.
He was so skittish. Weird, right? Weird story. All this stuff started happening, yeah, after this guy died in the fire. And it's so crazy because we were there on that back deck like every single day of that summer, except for that night, the night that house. Because if we would have been there, we would have been on the deck, we would have watched the fire go up, we would have gone inside and got the guy out.
Yeah.
But the one day we weren't there, and that happened.
Would you say that you're harboring any sort of guilt around that?
I don't know. I totally forgot about it until now. I felt really bad for a while. Like for a while, it was very much like I couldn't believe, like, why did it have to happen that one night we weren't there, right? And everybody else got out except for him, and it was him. I think he had put something on the stove and then fallen asleep, or something like that. Or he had something in the oven and had fallen asleep.
Do you think that maybe he was haunting you guys because he felt like you were responsible for not being there?
No. I don't know what was there. I think that apartment probably didn't have the greatest energy because it always kind of freaked me out in the dark, and I remember thinking, like, I don't know, you guys sleep here kind of thing. And then they probably provoked it with the Ouija board and all the weird shit that they would do. One friend thought it was like funny to like taunt and stuff. So anyway. Oh, did you see that?
No.
Little dead raccoon.
So recently it was my friend's birthday, and so I took her out to get some drinks and some food. And it was like a very, very, very busy night at the restaurant, so it's possible that this could have just been like a live human being. I've been seeing so many ghosts lately that I'm having a hard time like deciphering who's alive, which sounds freaking nutso, but okay, here we are. This is what we're here for, is to tell you stories like this. So we were like sitting there talking, having drinks, and like on my right side, I like thought I saw someone. Is that quieter, guys? So yeah, like on my right side, it was like a person just like swooped on up and was like leaning. Okay, how do I put this? So there was like this little privacy half wall situation beside me, and it was like this person just like almost like ran right up and was like staring like over the top of this privacy wall thing. And then like to the point that I was like, hello, like, yeah. Can I help you, sir? I should mention that I'm pretty sure it was like a male. And I looked and there was nothing there, and Kayla was like, are you okay? Like, what are you looking at? I was like, did you not see that guy? Like, he just like was just staring. And she's like, there was no guy.
Oh my god.
So that happened just a few days ago. I have a fun story to tell you about my old apartment. When I went back to clean, I went there, I was like sweeping and like cleaning up.
Like recently? Like after we filmed there?
Yeah, like it was like the last time I went just to get all the rest of our stuff and like clean. So since filming our most recent video that we posted, I've been back. But it was the final time that I was back there. Forever. I'm never ever going back. If you haven't seen that video, there's a link in the description. So Chris was like, okay, like I have to go and get like his son. I'm not gonna say his name. And he was like, are you cool to hang out here and just keep cleaning until I'm back? I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And the tenants from the basement weren't home, so it was just me and whatever beings were there at the time. And I was like, okay. So then I went and I was cleaning the bathroom. I was like scrubbing the toilet and stuff.
Wait, upstairs bathroom, downstairs bathroom?
The downstairs bathroom that we feel like weird vibes around.
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't think much of it. Like, it was like the middle of the day. It didn't feel weird or anything. And I was just cleaning it, and then I swear to goodness, like I heard the floorboards creaking as if someone were walking across. And like to the point after that, like, I ran out of the bathroom and, like, looked out, like, multiple times to see if anyone was there, and there was nothing there. And then, like, it kind of sounded like they were, like, coming closer to where I was. But I kept checking and nothing was there. And then, what scared me the most was
this person trying to pass. What a friggin' idiot!
they're driving onto oncoming. I want to show you guys.
Oh my god, that was so close. Fuck, I hate when people pass like that.
Sorry, you guys are probably at the edge of your seat right now. Was like, it sounded like I said, the steps were coming closer, and then they just started getting faster and like stompier and closer and closer and closer. So like stop, like closer to me. Like, it was crazy, and then there was just nothing.
Just nothing.
Nuts. Yeah, like, well, there was
Just
no
stopped.
person there.
Yeah. After we filmed the investigation, we edited it together the following day. That night, I think it was, or a couple nights later, I like woke up in the middle of the night, and this is not like normal for me. I was alone, my husband was away for the week, and I woke up in the middle of the night. Like, the sound of giggling children is what woke me up. And like, that's not normal for me, because like my house does not have any like residential ghosts or anything like that. Like, that's not normal for me. I do have a monitor in my room, to my youngest daughter's room, so I had to like shrug it off as like maybe she was talking in her sleep or something, and that's what woke me up. But I will say that she has never like talked in her sleep, so I don't know. And I didn't hear it after I woke up, but I woke up like out of a sound sleep to like, did I just hear kids? Maybe it was in a dream or something, but that doesn't happen to me, so that freaked me right out.
That's so spooky.
And that was the same night. Something happened to you too that night, you said. Oh, the knocks.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So, it was like pretty late by this point. So we started getting ready for bed. Eventually we made our way to bed. And then I woke up to like a loud banging sound. Checked the clock. 3:15 a.m. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm like sitting up in my bed like, what is that? And my dogs too are like really freaked out. And then I just hear like on my door.
Like your front door?
My back door. Like into my backyard.
Oh, okay.
And then I run out, check the door. Chris said that he locked the doors when he went to bed, and the doors were unlocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, creepy.
So that was friggin' weird, and there was no one there, obviously, or else it wouldn't be a paranormal story. So that was weird. So I like locked the doors, like went out, checked. There was nothing there. That was super weird. And every night since then, which has been what? How many weeks?
Like a week. No. Yeah, like just over a week maybe.
So just over a week ago is when we did that investigation, and every single night since then, I wake up between.
Since the investigation. Like
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought
Sorry.
you meant since we edited it.
Edited it. Yeah. So for 2 weeks, every single night, I've been waking up between 3 and 3:15 a.m. since then.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any like knocks or any craziness in the night since then, but just like I wake up like I'm fully awake, ready to take on my day, realize it's 3 to 3:15 a.m. and then I'm like, oh, and then I go back to sleep. So that was really crazy.
That is annoying. This little bell. It's my little guardian girl.
Oh my gosh, cute.
But it's like jangling a lot back there.
I've never seen one that looks like this before. They usually look all, oh yeah, we got fried food, yay. Poutine and onion rings. But yeah, I find that they usually look all creepy, and this one's like all cutie.
Yep.
Anyway.
She's the guardian. Oh my god, she's the guardian. crazy. I don't want to disclose anything about our location tonight, but that is like epically connected.
What?
The main ghost at this location is called the Guardian. Isn't that crazy? We're going to get our nails done.
It's gonna be awesome because, like, sad.
Well, I've had sad nails for a long time, but your nails are pretty sad because they look like
They're like grown out, broken off.
it's only because you're like clinging on to like the last three. That
Yeah.
looks so bad.
It's not even like I think they look good and I like just want to keep them. It's just that they hurt so bad to rip them off and they're not loose enough to take off yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna catch up with you guys soon, but I hope you like to view these little stories.
So like you'll see us in like 1 second, but it'll be like a few hours for us.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Hey. So we got our nails done. If you can see it, maybe. Yeah. I got a little spider.
Oh.
And then Jenna's nails. I'll show you.
Where am I going?
Here. So super weird. I've been seeing my girl Anna for my nails forever, and like not once have we ever spoken about the paranormal or anything.
I'm going the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you where to go? I can tell you where to go.
Right? I turn here?
Yeah. Turn left here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And
I know
then
where to go
turn
once
right
I'm
there.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
So we've never spoken about the paranormal, not once together. And I've been seeing her for my nails for a really, really long time. And Jenna and I are on this paranormal adventure together, decide to get our nails done, and boom, she just starts talking about like how when she was a kid, this medium approached her and was talking about her passed on cousin who was like watching over her, and she was talking about it was really, really cool. Like
yeah, and not just like some random like conversation that came up. Like she's from Vietnam, and like this happened to her in Vietnam and stuff. So it's not like there's a bit of like a cultural divide there. So it's not like, I mean, it's cool to get another culture's perspective on this stuff.
Yeah, she was really freaked out. She wasn't super into it.
Yeah.
But like the craziest part to me is that we're on this trip, we're doing this together, and
It's not like we brought it up.
yeah, like we didn't tell her what we were doing, we didn't tell her any of that. She doesn't know that we're into this at all. And then she just kind of randomly felt the need to start talking about it, which I'm glad that she felt comfortable, but like, what?
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Every video, and I pulled into the wrong fucking parking lot. God damn it!
Well, we can walk, it's literally right there.
No, we must park the closest we can. I strive for greatness.